No, wait. Do it again.
I don't know what to say. And why are you raising your eyebrow at me? uh,
Hello, welcome to Introvert Theater. It's me, Terry.
I'm Jenna.
And this is our spoiler review for Halloween Ends that we just saw yesterday in IMAX. Regrettably. That's not, I guess that's sort of a preview for what we think of the movie overall. Be a spoiler review. We're going to talk about the movie and plot points. So if you haven't seen it, maybe don't watch this or come watch it later or watch it and then go see it. I don't think it matters that much. Yeah, so what do you think?
I just watched the Halloween movies for the first time last year. Loved them immediately. So I was going in having quite an affection for the movies. So my overall thoughts were, coming out of the end of the movie, I thought I really liked it, but I didn't like it as the end of a trilogy. I didn't like it to tie off the Halloween series.
Most recent one.
The most recent one. And I didn't think it fit. It was a bit confusing. I think what they were going for was cool. And I think if it wasn't the Halloween Ends, a final part of the trilogy, it would have been way better. If it was even just a standalone Halloween movie, or if it was in the middle. They introduced all these new concepts, and it just didn't really make sense for the ending of the movie.
It didn't feel like it was part... For me, it didn't feel like it was part of the 2018 trilogy. It felt different. It felt like from where we were going after Halloween Kills, it felt like a whole new thing. I did not know what the heck was happening in this movie. Not as far as I couldn't follow the plot. It was just... Well, I'll say I liked how they approached it. A more character-driven movie. They spent some time with Laurie, and she was a more subdued character. Seemed to have chosen to take a different approach to life after all this trauma that she suffered, and not let her fear and trauma and paranoia about Michael take any more of the years of her life that it already did. And she chose to live in a home with her granddaughter, Allison. I thought that was really cool. I thought that they did some good things with her character. Allison, I thought, was the way they ended things with her in Halloween Kills. It seemed like she was going to have a very... more of a prominent role in the next movie, it seemed like, or maybe we'd carry on with her in future films in some capacity. I didn't like what they did with her in this film. She seemed, her weird, I don't know, her main thing was that she had this fixation for the damaged kid in town.
She was weird.
Yeah.
And it was kind of strange how she was kind of hateful towards
Haddonfield and Laurie and everything. I don't know if it's necessarily hatred, but there's this angle of disdain for the town of Haddonfield and its residents in general. And they played up that angle a little bit with some scenes where, Allison and this the character of Corey are looked at as, freaks or psychos or pariahs or something. Same with Laurie. And they're being blamed, especially Laurie being blamed for Michael's resurgence in Halloween Kills and how he came back and wreaked havoc on the town in that particular movie. It had some cool concepts. I liked that it was more character driven. Did sort of drag a bit because you know where it was going. This movie is not as it's advertised in the previews in the trailer as it's not Laurie versus Michael showdown movie. It's it's a Laurie getting on with her life. Weird troubled kid in town having problems, and I think there was 4 different writers on this particular in this one. The script seemed to have some issues. I don't know what the heck was going on. I've never created a movie. I don't like to crap all over films that much because I don't do anything. I just get up and consume art. I don't create it, so it's hard for me to necessarily say it sucked. It didn't work that well for me at all as the closing film for this trilogy.
Michael Myers was in the movie, honestly, I think for 15 minutes.
He was in there, maybe 20 minutes.
It took him so long to even make it his first appearance in the movie, and then when he made his first appearance in the movie, it was so lackluster. It's just not what you want I think the thing is, it wasn't what we wanted.
Well,
I think a lot of people are going to say that.
I was really big. I liked the idea in Halloween Kills how he was getting. It was never about Laurie. He was getting back to the house, and it was like he was staring into his own reflection. And they had this whole dynamic with Nietzsche or Nietzsche, however you want to pronounce his name, Friedrich Nietzsche. Staring into the abyss and careful not to stare back. And I said that whole quote that they say in the movie because I've read Nietzsche quite a bit, and I thought that was an interesting dynamic. And they were going with this. He's pure evil and this type of thing. And they carried it in a direction I didn't expect in this, and how he meets Corey and he sort of grabs him. He's in this very weakened state, and he sees something in Corey's eyes, or he passes evil on to him. Maybe I'm missing. There's a couple of different ways you could have went with this, and then Corey starts acting more and more insane and angry, and getting into these situations, and ends up killing people. And at one point bringing somebody back to Michael, and Michael seems to start regaining his power as he kills people, and then is able to get back out there. I don't understand the dynamic where they were going or what they were going with as far as him as Michael being held up in the sewer grate for 4 years.
It doesn't fit with his character. Like, why would he be? Michael doesn't seem like somebody who would hide away for 4 years in a cellar and just not be killing people or not be doing anything. I understand he got the crap beat out of him in Halloween Kills, but then he fought back, killed all of the people, and then all of a sudden he's a weak little man hiding in the sewer for 4 years.
Yeah, it seemed like it was more Halloween 2018 seemed like they were taking a slightly more grounded approach to the character, like more in realism, and it was a real man, and getting away from some of the stuff in the previous films, like the cult and the different in Curse of Michael Myers and things like that. And then in the Halloween Kills, they make him out to be this kind of unstoppable, great white shark killing machine type of thing. And then, they kind of doubled down on this sort of, he's manifestation of pure evil. And the town of Haddonfield itself is cursed, and there's just all this stuff happening. Like, I think we're ranting a little bit about these different concepts, because I think there's no cohesive. There's not a lot of cohesion in the movie itself. I liked Corey, the actor, whoever played Corey, I don't know his name. He was great. I think I liked the idea of where they were going with it. I would have, it was cool. When he first brought the police officer that was dating his girlfriend or whatever, had been, back to the sewer dungeon that Michael's in, and then he kills him and starts gaining his power back. I thought that was going to kind of be what was going to be going on. It was going to be, he's going to keep bringing bodies or people to Michael. Michael's going to keep killing them and get more powerful, then slowly make his way out and into the world and go after Laurie or whoever again. They have to have some final showdown. And it was sort of like that, but then Corey obviously takes on the mantle and starts going around being basically a disciple / copycat of Michael Myers. Yeah. It seemed it was sort of like a disciple relationship. I think we did watch a quick review, and they mentioned, I was listening to someone say it's almost like a Batman and Robin type of dynamic, right? Which just didn't fit for me. I thought that was sort of strange how they were going.
It didn't land because, too, like you said, off camera, you said Michael isn't somebody who, he's a bloodthirsty killer.
Yeah, all of a sudden for him to have...
He doesn't see people, he doesn't see emotion, but then all of a sudden he has a liking to this little guy. Or
not even that. Maybe there was supposed to be no affection for Corey itself. It's just they recognized something in him and they were kindred spirits to some degree. I don't know.
He was trying to pass it off.
Seems to me like, this team has made some great films, and I personally love 2018. I personally love Halloween Kills, so I don't want to crap all over this movie. It just didn't really work for me. It seemed like there was a lot of... When you see that there's 4 writers, I believe there was 4 writers for this film. When you see that there's 4 writers, it feels like there was 4 different hands or more in the pot as far as the storyline. They kind of piecemealed some ideas together. It does sort of work, but like I said, it doesn't work for me as the final film in this trilogy. I wish that I like the actress that plays Allison, Addie Matichak, I think that's her name. I was hoping they were going to seemed like she was going to get more to do in this film, and she didn't get much. I don't know. I did not care for her. She didn't really get an arc. The only person who got a real character arc in this was Corey.
I will say I did like the ending. There could have been more between the confrontation between him and Laurie at the end.
That was pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. I love how she stabbed him to the island. I love that Allison broke his arm because she was obviously traumatized from just slicing his arm that one time. So it's kind of cool that she then got to like break his arm and then they sliced open his wrist. I like that whole ending part. I loved the part. Terry didn't like this part as much, but I loved the parade of cars bringing him to the end and then crushing him. I thought the parade going through Haddonfield,
funeral procession type of
with
vibe.
him strapped to the roof, that gave me goosebumps. I thought that was so cool because it was just like the town fighting against him.
I think at that point I'd emotionally checked out of the film.
Left wanting more, so many more things. I wanted more out of the relationship between what's his name, Hawkins.
I think no, that's not. I want to say Hawkins because of Stranger Things. The sheriff and Laurie have a somewhat of a budding
I wanted
relationship
more for
going
their
on
relationship. I wanted something from the characters who made an appearance in Halloween Kills and then made an appearance in this movie. I wanted some more of that.
With the sheriff with the hat, the Halloween Kills.
The little kid.
The little kid, yeah. The
world's best babysitter.
World's best babysitter kid from Halloween Kills.
The girl who got the pipe through her throat.
I just wish that Big John and Little John have got more recognition because they're the best characters in this entire trilogy.
Yeah. By
far. Big John and Little John from Halloween Kills. I just think part of the problem is that people you could want different things from this movie. And to the ending of this particular trilogy, you can want different things and just disagree with how it went about in a particular movie when they're trying to end something like this. But I just think, like, objectively, I don't know, like this movie just didn't connect very well on any of the things it was trying to do. I do applaud them for that kind of angle they're taking. I think it was cool with the more character driven, this sort of disciple angle, passing the evil, if that's even what it was. That was kind of cool. They took a bit of a chance there. I just think even with their attempt to do that, it was sort of disconnected. For me, personally, it felt very disconnected.
Liked the kills. I thought the kills were really cool. When Corey was killing, it was just like Michael. I thought it was really brutal. It made my jaw drop, made me laugh. I liked, as I said, I liked the ending, when the confrontation with Laurie and Michael. I liked how Laurie came to terms with not being afraid as much and kind of started just living her life normally. I liked Corey as a character. Yeah. And I liked his story. I thought his story was really cool, accidentally killing that kid and then just being hated by the town. Yeah. That storyline was really cool. It could have been a different movie, not a Halloween movie. What I didn't like Michael being a meek old man in the sewer. I didn't like the relationship between Corey and Allison. I didn't like how Allison was all weird and like bad boy driven, wanting to leave Haddonfield. Like, it's like she became an adult and then, but also was an antsy teenager again. It was very strange. Yeah, overall I didn't really like the storyline. It just wasn't super interesting. I didn't find myself on the edge of my seat. And I wish we got more of the regular formula of Halloween. More kills from Michael, more of a lead up to the end. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So yeah, things I liked about the film were, I liked Corey as a character for the most part. I enjoyed that he had a whole kind of arc. Some of the portions of the script and the writing for his character sort of held it back a bit, but overall I did like him. I did like a lot of the kills. Like the disc jockey kill was awesome. Yeah. And yeah, the first 10 minutes with Corey, the babysitter dynamic when the film first opens, that was some of the coolest part of the entire film. Very shocking. The confrontation with Laurie at the end. I did like how Laurie was written. I liked where they had her. I thought that was interesting, like moving past things and just kind of living her life.
I liked how Allison was written at the beginning too.
Yeah.
But then she just took a weird turn.
You know how if you're watching, you've probably seen the Rob Zombie films. In the first Rob Zombie film, Danielle Harris's character is, she almost gets murdered along with Laurie Strode. In the second film, it seems like because of the brush with death that she's had and almost killed, and I mean she's really together. She's trying to stay, she's taking care of her dad. She's trying to eat healthy. She's doing she's very wary of things, and I would have thought that would have been some more of a, should have matured. I didn't seem like Allison's character matured. It seemed like she sort of devolved, which you could say is completely normal for somebody who went through what she went through. She lost her dad, she lost her mother in a 4-year period, and she's living with her grandmother, who up until that point of her life 4 years prior was, known as was the family pariah essentially, and was riddled with anxiety and paranoia and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So, that could be a reason, but yeah, I didn't like how she was fixated on the damaged kid in town, and she didn't give her much to do here. It just seemed the writing was all over the map. Really, really didn't connect for me. I also didn't like a lot of things genocide. Like I didn't like the disheveled old man Michael Myers. Corey beats him in a wrestling match in the sewer cave for his mask. Like
so strange. Not Michael.
And I know they're trying to go with something that he's been, he got the living the holy hell kicked out of him, and kills. It's been 4 years. It was just strange. The whole thing was strange. It could be one of those things that once you're over the shock of it not being what you wanted it to be, and having a certain, when you go back and you don't have any expectations, you kind of know what it is. The movie settles for you differently. That could be what ends up happening with this. I'll watch it. I definitely watch it again. If we're giving an official review for it, I'd probably give this as a finale to this particular film or this film franchise, this series. I'd give it I don't know, man. Like a 3.5, 4. If it was a standalone Halloween film, I'd give it like a 6.
I would rate it like a 4 out of 10. If it was a standalone movie, the concepts and ideas were cool. If it was a standalone movie, maybe a 5. I don't know.
Anyway,
that's it.
We're going to do a review of our time at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yes.
Our first time going to the Toronto International Film Festival. We got to see The Fabelmans. We got to see The Whale with Brendan Fraser. We got to see Butcher's Crossing with Nicolas Cage. We saw All Quiet on the Western Front. A handful of other films. It was great. Sisu.
And Fixation.
Fixation, The Good Nurse. We saw a bunch of great stuff. So we'll probably do reviews for The Fabelmans and for The Whale, and probably All Quiet on the Western Front comes out, I think, next week. But we'll probably do reviews for those as well. And our review of our time at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the review.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.